In this video, you're gonna learn exactly how to write the perfect cold email to turn total strangers into paying customers. Hey, it's Patrick Dang here. Welcome to my channel where we're gonna talk about all things sales, marketing, and entrepreneurship. Before we go ahead and get started with this video, make sure to give it a like, subscribe, and turn on notifications. Now, during my time as a sales rep in Silicon Valley working at Oracle and another Y Combinator-backed startup, I sent thousands, literally thousands of cold emails to generate countless of meetings. But I know in the beginning, it could be very frustrating when you're sending out your first campaigns and nobody is really responding. And here's the thing, after coaching thousands of people around the globe on how to write cold emails that generate meetings, the reason for why most people fail is because number one, they have a little bit of an ego and they think they're really good at writing cold emails, which they're not. Number two, they think that their product and service is so great that everyone should automatically just take a meeting with them. Obviously, this does not work. So what I want to do is show you a simple but very effective way to write your cold emails to skyrocket your response rates so that you can start turning strangers into customers. And make sure you watch until the end because I'm going to give you my special cold email template that you can use for yourself. All right, so here's what we're gonna do first. First, I'm gonna give you an example of what not to do. And I'm gonna show you an example of someone who sent a real email to me. And I also changed a couple texts, changed the person's name, changed the person's company, just leave it anonymous. But for the most part, this is a real email that someone sent and we're gonna break it down and show you why it doesn't work and we're gonna show you what actually works. All right, so let's get into it. So this person started off with saying, "Hi Patrick, crazy times, huh?" And that's obviously because of the corona going on right now. And this person says, "I heard online learning is on the rise now. What about you? Is it a good time to strengthen your R&D?" Well, right off the bat, I have no idea what he means by strengthen your R&D. So I'm not really sure what he wants. So now he says, "I'm John from Demosoft Web Agency. Glad to meet you. My point is pretty simple. Would you like to get benefit from our experience in the online learning domain and decent developers? If you are anything like ready to discuss a potential partnerships, just drop a line. Kind regards, John." Okay, so breaking this down, I have no idea what this guy does or what value he can bring to me, right? Normally, if you write an email to someone, you're trying to offer them something, but I actually have no idea what he has to offer. It's too vague, and there's no reason for why I would respond to this email. Second thing is that the grammar is really off, so maybe he's from another country and maybe English is not his first language, and I understand that. But if you are writing to, let's say, a Western audience or a Western company, you definitely want to make sure that you use some kind of grammar check to make sure you're writing your email properly, or else people aren't going to take you seriously. So if you're writing emails like this, don't worry about it because I'm going to show you how to fix this up real quick using what I call the pain formula. Now, the pain formula is one of my best cold email templates that you can basically use in any industry, no matter what it is that you're selling. And it's super simple because we're going to break it down into 4 simple parts. The first one is having a relevant intro, introducing yourself and like what you do or why you guys should be connected. Number 2, we're gonna talk about the customer's pain. What pains does this person experience? And number 3, solution. How do you solve those pains? And finally, you're gonna have the call to action. What do you want them to do next? And you wanna make sure every single one of these elements is extremely clear. So let's go ahead and give you an example of the email that I wrote, and you can kind of get inspiration from it and use some of the elements in your own emails. Now, in this example, I'm going to pretend that I have some kind of marketing agency or content management agency, and I'm writing an email to myself, right? So I'm this person trying to sell to Patrick Dang, right? This is how I would write an email to myself. So let's go ahead and get into it, right? The first part, like I said before, is the relevant intro. So I'll say, "Hey Patrick, just checked out your latest YouTube video on," and then whatever that video is about. And I thought it was great, right? Very, very relevant because I'm posting a lot of YouTube videos. If this guy understands I'm doing that, he is on the same page as me. Now, number 2, we're gonna go into the pain section, right? Keep diving deep into what is a person's pain. Hopefully you find a really deep pain so you can solve it. So I can say something like, "After watching the video, I checked out your website and noticed you weren't running a blog yet," which I'm not. With all the high quality content you've been putting out on YouTube recently, it's surprising you haven't started converting those videos into blog posts to capture more organic traffic to your website. Now, this is actually something I've been thinking about. I've been putting out all these videos, but I also have a website, but I don't have a blog. And it would be really easy for me to turn my YouTube videos into articles or blog posts that people can read, and I can generate traffic and make money from that. So if someone wrote me this email, it's very relevant because it's exactly what I'm thinking about. And if they have something to solve this problem for me, I am a lot more willing to take a meeting with them, right? But it's all about context, understanding who your customer is, what pains they have. Now, the third part is all about the solution. How are you gonna solve these problems? So in this email, I'm gonna say, now, if you're interested, my company helps YouTube content creators like yourself start highly ranked blogs using your YouTube content you already made and converting them into high quality blogs. Best of all, we handle all the tech and content management, making it extremely simple for you. Some of our clients include Client A, Client B, and Client C. So here what I'm doing is I first started with the pain, right? You're not getting this extra traffic by turning your YouTube videos into blog posts. Then I'm providing a solution. If that's something you're interested in, I can do that for you. Super simple, super easy. All you have to do is say yes, right? I try to make it as easy as possible for the other person to understand what I'm talking about and agree to take a meeting with me. And the last little thing I did there is I included some clients that I worked with, right? So what you want to do in this situation, if you have past clients relevant to the prospects you are currently reaching out to, you want to name drop them. You don't really have to say what you did for them because it would be too long. All you want to do is mention like, hey, I worked with these people. They're similar to people to what you're doing, so it's very relevant. And if I see that, I'm like, oh, he worked with these people that I admire. Well, I want to take a meeting with this guy, right? So now that you got the solution down, the next final step, and this is where most people get it wrong, is having a clear call to action. Meaning, once somebody reads your email, what's the next step you want them to take? And naturally, for a cold email, that next step is to ask for a meeting. So I would say something like, so if you're interested in learning more about how we can help you get more organic traffic with blogging, let me know what your calendar looks like. And you could also have a variation where, let's say you have something like Calendly and people can schedule a time on your calendar. You can end it with, feel free to schedule a time on my calendar, right? Whatever works for you. But if you do it this way, like in the example, if you just ask them, like, let me know what your calendar looks like, usually they'll give you a time and day on when they are free, and then you schedule a meeting through there via email. And then you sign it off, Best John, or whoever, whatever your name is, right? So now that we've kind of put the whole thing together, if you kind of look at it, this is basically the pain formula structure that I showed you in the beginning. We have the relevant intro, we understand the person's pain, and we really make it hurt so that when we provide our solution, it makes it a lot more appealing. Finally, once they understand the solution, you have a clear call to action. Don't say something like, hey, drop a line, because that doesn't make any sense. Like, what do you mean drop a line? You just want to make it clear. Let me know what your calendar looks like, or feel free to schedule a time on my calendar to talk more, So you don't have to exactly copy the words that I'm using. You can paraphrase it or use your own style of language, but for the most part, the main important thing here is to follow the framework of the relevant intro, pain, solution, and call to action. Now, if you do these simple things, just following this template, your response rates may skyrocket just because you have this template in place. Most people go in, they think they're great at writing cold emails and they just write whatever, and it doesn't work because they don't have a formula to have predictable results. But I've sent these kind of emails, literally thousands of these emails. I got tons of meetings from it, and I'm positive that you can also do it too if you follow this framework. So with that said, that's going to be my cold email pain formula template that you can use for yourself. Now, if you enjoyed this video, make sure to give it a like, subscribe, and turn on notifications. And let me know in the comments if you enjoy these kind of cool email videos or prospecting videos, and I'll be happy to make more for you guys. And one more thing, if you really want to take your sales game to the next level, I actually created a free in-depth training on how to sell anything to anyone. So to get access to that free training, just click the link in the description and it's going to take you there. So with that said, my name is Patrick Dang, and I'm going to see you guys in the next one.